This is a woman who's farther along in her progress than you are. So she started holding her son responsible. He ended up in jail, blah, 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 blah. There's not an easy way to do this. People say, well, but if I do the right thing, then he might end up in jail. If I do the right thing, he won't like me. Blah, blah, blah. There's not an easy way. And now he hasn't spoken to her since February. Oh, honey, you're just warming up. When I started practicing real love, that you're changing the rules. Do you see how unsettling this is for a kid? So these kids have learned how to manipulate us using really fairly fine-honed rules. Your daughter knows exactly how to get out of you what she wants. She knows exactly. It's like there's a book of you. And she uses the owner's manual, she being the owner, how to operate this particular piece of machinery. And then you come along and you say, oh, we're not going to use that owner's manual anymore. They're going to use the owner's manual like crazy people. They're going to resent the fact that you're not predictable anymore. They're going to hate it. I had 7 kids, but I haven't killed any of them. So I have 7 kids. And 2 of them, as I became more unconditionally loving, became more angry. One of them didn't speak to me. One of them, it was his purpose in life to torture me for 7 years. He'd call me at 3 in the morning and he'd say, I can think of something else you did. And for 7 years, I just listened. And he'd say, you did this. I did. And you didn't do this. I know. It's inexcusable. Who knew somebody could be that stupid? And I wasn't being sarcastic. I never argued with him ever in 7 years. After 7 years, he finally went, you win. He said, I've been trying to piss you off for 7 years. And he said, just by the way, if you had become angry as I was attacking at you at any time in those 7 years, we would have started the clock over. Isn't that interesting? Another kid didn't speak to me for 5. He would let his phone fill up. None of his friends could call him either, just so I'd have the pleasure of hearing, this mailbox is full. Go screw yourself. It didn't actually say that, but... So for 5 years, and for 5 years, I would just send him postcard. I'd send him little thinking of you. Never once said, is your phone broken? Haven't heard from you in 5 years. No. My favorite is send a pizza. Because they got this pizza and it says from Dad. And they're going, and they'll eat it. And this is like just every, I don't know, 1 to 2 to 3 weeks. Don't do it too often or you seem sort of creepy stalky, you know? After 5 years, he calls me and he says, I give up. I've been trying to prove you don't care about me all this time. And you do. He said, I apologize for being such a butt, for taking so long. And my answer was, what did I have better to do than to love you? That's what I meant by you're just warming up. So you keep loving him. You keep sending him emails. You keep sending him texts. You can bet that he needs money. So you send him $5, you know, something to, you know, this will give you something to drink while you're standing in the unemployment line. You just keep loving him. You have an advantage that other people don't have. He wants your love. He does.
I want to give him my love.
And you want to give it to him.